The rule was never explained. It didn't come with a story. It didn't come with a name. It was just something you were told early enough that it settled in before you questioned it. If you hear whistling in the woods at night, you stop. You don't answer, you don't whistle back, and you don't try to find where it's coming from. Most importantly, you don't move. Where I grew up, whistling was normal during the day. People did it while working, while walking, while calling dogs back in from the tree line. It wasn't considered strange. At night, it was different. At night, whistling didn't belong to people. The first time I heard it for myself, I was old enough to know the rule and young enough to think it didn't apply to me. I was walking back from a neighbor's place just after dark. No moon, cloud cover, low enough that the woods felt closer than usual. The path was familiar, worn in by years of use. Halfway home, I heard the whistle. It was a single, clean note, short, controlled, not a tune. It came from deeper in the trees to my left. I stopped walking without thinking. That part was instinct. The rest was curiosity. I listened. A few seconds later, the whistle came back again. Same note, same length, same distance. That's what made it wrong. Sound doesn't behave the way in the woods. It shifts, it bends, it loses shape. This didn't. I remember thinking very clearly that whoever was making the sound must be standing still. That was the mistake. I whistled back. Just once. Same note. The response came immediately. Not louder, not closer, but closer than it should have been. Close enough that I could tell it hadn't come from the same place. My stomach dropped before my mind caught up. I didn't hear footsteps. I didn't hear branches breaking. I didn't hear movement at all. I just knew the distance had changed. I stood there longer than I should have, long enough that the dark felt settled around me, like it had finished adjusting. Then I heard my name, not shouted, not whispered, spoken the way someone does when they're sure you're nearby. It came from the path ahead of me, the direction I'd been walking. I didn't answer. I didn't move. The name came again, slightly different. The emphasis was wrong, like the sound had been learned instead of grown up with. I stayed where I was until the night went quiet again. I don't know how long that took. When I finally made it home, my grandfather was waiting on the porch. He hadn't come looking. He was just there, like he'd known. He didn't ask what I'd heard. He only said, "Don't do that again." After that night, something changed. I still walk those paths during the day. I still know the woods, but there are places I don't linger anymore. Spots where sound feels flatter than it should, and I don't whistle outside, ever. Because the rule was never about sound. It was about letting something know exactly where you were and that you were willing to respond.